To March, 1873. My beautiful Anne, this being separated from you is most maddening. I pray for the day to arrive soon when we shall not be apart. I do send my best wishes to all and hope all are well, but I am most focused on my own selfish feelings today. I thought of delaying writing to you until I was in a better frame of mind, less annoyed at the circumstance of not being able to see you. But the ritual of writing has become a draw in itself, and so now I must share with you my own trying nature. Like the days that I simply wish to take this cane and beat this leg into cooperation. As the snow melts and the spring dampness arrives, it seems to ache more than it did during the coldest part of the year, getting worse, not better. There seems nothing for the pain that relieves save occupying my mind with work. This past week, Mr. Deischer invited me to a luncheon meeting with the Mr. Hutiera from Hungary. It seems he is an investor and legal advisor to a small group of industrialists in Budapest that are working on a series of inclines in their city. His English was not very good, so we spoke through a translator. It was an interesting exchange. I believe that he is interested in having Mr. Deischer consult on the construction of the inclines in their city. Mr. Deischer asked me along and introduced me as one of his senior engineers, the one that saved the Cincinnati project. As he is not one given to open praise, I was a bit surprised. Happily so, I might add, but surprised nonetheless. It was an enjoyable lunch, and we all seemed to get on quite well. Mr. Deischer indicated that his time was well absorbed and that it would be difficult to get away in the foreseeable future. When he looked at me, I smiled and realized after a moment that his look was a question. I was a bit surprised. He knew we were getting married in June, and with all the work that we have to complete projects here in the city, I was surprised that he should wonder if I would be willing to venture out again at this time. I remarked to Mr. Hutiera that it was so sad my commitments would prevent me from providing him assistance at this critical time. I explained my circumstances to him, and saw him delight with the translation.
Perhaps, Mr. Carvel, you would consider Budapest as a site for your honeymoon? We can be most hospitable, and we would, of course, pay for all the expenses in addition to whatever agreement we might come to with Mr. Deischer.
I was quite taken aback at the offer. I had given no thought to a honeymoon, or anything much beyond knowing that you should be with me always. Before I could respond, Mr. Deischer indicated it was a very fine offer and a very clever way to try to acquire one of his most trusted colleagues. Colleague, he called me. I was astonished at his characterization of our relationship. He said we would consider the possibilities and that we were truly interested in sharing in the opportunities that were being created in Budapest. They both seemed very happy at the lunch, and I was most surprised by it all. Only later have I considered the possibilities and am thinking it might be an interesting venture for us both. We spoke through the rest of the lunch, of families and such. One thing that struck me as most unusual was his wife. Unless I misunderstood the translation, or the translator misunderstood Mr. Hutiera, it seems that his wife is a doctor, a medical doctor. Can you imagine? A lady doctor? Budapest must be a most exotic place. It seems I am not the only one here who misses you being with us. Mother has asked me when you will be returning, and has indicated she has so many questions for you about the wedding arrangements she didn't get to ask you while you were here.
I simply can't do this without Anne here.
I have tried to explain to her what you are doing there in Marietta, but she still wants you here. She speaks of you with such pride and affection.
She's going to be my daughter-in-law. She needs to have a say in all of this, and besides, she is the one with all the talent.
So you shall be hearing from her soon. I have told her that she should write to you, as I do, and that you would, of course, respond, and all would work itself out. I wish you were here too, but I understand your need to continue to make arrangements at your home. I do so hope Aunt Eva is feeling better, and I hope Edward was able to be a bit of assistance while he was with you. He certainly should have provided you and Aunt Eva with a surprise or two. He's always full of surprises. Oh, how I wish you were here, or I there. When you are not with me, I am as lonely as one man might be. I look to the tree outside the window and see a lone dove without its mate, and I think this bird is I, calling in the wind for you. But your image is not far away, for it is in my mind forever, and when I close my eyes, I am not alone. I reach into my breast pocket to touch a letter from you that I carry next to my heart and feel its warm edges, and I am not alone. I bring a kerchief you left behind to my nose and smell the scent of you, and I am not alone. I miss you terribly. With all my heart, my love and affection, I remain truly and most humbly your servant and future husband, James.